Doc, my name is Bernard Kwadwo in the media space. I am known as Sheldon.
Yeah, you are very famous.
Yes. Before I proceed to ask my question, I actually have a nickname for you. Maybe you have not heard it. I call you Bawizi. So,
right. Thank you.
Yes, Bawizi. So for those who don't know yet.
Sheldon.
But my question is, I run a youth-driven platform. I engage a lot of youth in my line of work. And most of the times when you speak to them or you go to the grounds and you're having conversations with them and you make mention, oh, the government has created 2.6 million jobs, and they go like, it is not reflecting. We do not have jobs. And that is like general atmosphere amongst most of the youth out there. Either they have been employed and they are being paid paltry sums of money, their salaries are not being paid on time, or they have not been paid at all. So just standing here and telling us that you have created 2.6 million or 2.3 million jobs is not enough for us. We want to see the tangibles. We want to be employable. We don't want to be employment statistic at the end of the day. So I want to know what your government is going to do to expand the various sectors of production so that we can absorb all these people into the system and they get paid well. On the other side of things too, there is this video that was posted by Honorable Kwadwo Nkrumah, where in the video it was asserted that you have trained 1 million youth in coding. I want to understand. I know training and actual employment be two different things. When you train someone and the person doesn't have a job, it doesn't qualify to be called employment. So these people that you want to train, we will train. Is there a job market for them to be absorbing so that it wouldn't just be training? Because when you train and there is no job, then there is no point. Also,
thank you.
Doc, maybe Doc. So Doc, I am a young entrepreneur. I started new media after school, after not getting job anywhere. Now I have made it. I have put in the effort to bring in national service people to work with me, right? And every year we take in about 2-3 national service people. I'm a private company. I'm not a government company. Now I'm supposed to pay these, national service people a certain amount of money, which is more than what the government is paying. And after that, I am supposed to pay money to the government through the national, service secretariat. For a private startup company like mine, that is not funded by anyone, and I'm paying all these amount of money to the government. What are, the benefits, the opportunities for me in your government, so that I can create a fertile grounds to absorb in a lot more people, so that I can work with them and create employment for them?
Thank you very much, Kwadwo. I think there are about 3 questions, if I recall. You made the right point to start with. That says that we've created 2.6 million jobs. But for the people you talk to, they are not seeing it, reflecting. And that's exactly the point I made. That, in fact, even though we've created 2.6 million jobs, it's not sufficient. The demand for employment is very high, but you can just imagine that if you had not created this 2.6 million, the demand would have even been higher, right? So the fact is that it's true. We haven't done enough in that sense that you want to do more. And this is why I believe if you look at the program I'm putting forward, it's very, very key. The business side, you look at the tax reforms that we are proposing that will help stimulate the private sector. I'm talking about people who have issues with tax liabilities and are not able to hire people but if you give them an amnesty, all of a sudden there's a significant capital injection of sorts, so that they are able now to hire people and restart their businesses. But if they have to use their capital to pay GRA, all these tax liabilities, you have a big problem. So you look at those reforms, the move to the flat tax system, making our tax system very transparent. A lot of businesses, and I've talked to many, have so many challenges with the tax system. I believe that the Buy Ghana First policy, which I'm going to back up with law, is also a major avenue for job creation. Because at the moment, the default setting, given our Public Procurement Act, practically tends to go to import whatever you need to buy as government. Because the local firms are not able to be price competitive. So the foreign firms win the bids almost all the time. So I want us to factor in the cost of unemployment in the bidding processes to say, look, if you give it to the foreign firms, you are creating unemployment. So how do we bring the jobs to our people? Bring a law, and then at least you have to buy Ghana first, and then we get more jobs to our people. So I think that is. Then you look at the whole issue of the cost of power. Power is very expensive for our businesses. And I want us to move towards solar and bring in 2,000 megawatts of solar power and reduce that. Then I want to bring in the credit scoring system. You know, the demand for goods and for so many services is much lower if you don't have access to credit in your economy, right? But if you have access to credit, you look at the US, consumer demand drives GDP, over 60% of GDP, because people have access to credit and they can buy goods. And that when people buy goods, it means you need to employ people to manufacture those goods. So there is a direct link between the credit system and jobs. So I believe that when we open up the credit scoring system, we open up the job market for our people. And you'll be able to create more jobs. Because you look at the mortgage market, as I was saying, the mortgage market in the US is 12 trillion. It's almost 600,000 times our mortgage market. Now, no modern country, and I don't know of any, I've looked at it, has developed without a mortgage market. Because the value of your land is dead if you don't have a mortgage market. In the advanced countries, they unleash the capital out of the land. In economics, you say land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. In Ghana, land is out, but that's our most valuable asset. So if you don't digitalize and get the land titling right, so that banks can be confident that when they lend on the basis of a particular land, that it actually does belong to you, right? So if we don't solve that problem of ownership of land, people will have to use land guards, and then they finish, they don't have title. Most businesses are started by mortgaging their properties. Most businesses out there. But here, the room to do that is foreclosed. It's completely foreclosed. So I want us to go back and tackle the fundamental problem. Deal with the issue of land titling and complete that process to allow. Then you can have a housing market develop. The housing market is the most important market in any economy. If the housing market goes down, the economy collapses, right? So if we don't tackle the housing market issue of mortgages, the land titling issue, we have a lot of dead capital stuck in the ground. A lot of people have houses. They live in them for 30 years, but they don't have title to the house. They don't have title. They could have mortgaged this house and gotten capital to start a business, but they don't have title. So they will not proceed. It will just be dead capital. When they die, the children will live there. They cannot do anything with it. Even selling it becomes a problem. So if we don't develop our housing market, we're not going to develop. So these are some of the things I believe that we need to do. I mean, you raise another point about skills, like people are trained 1 million, and all of that. That is very, very important point. But where do you start in building digital talent? As a country, we have from the ground zero. We want to enter the digital age. You cannot without digital talent. Otherwise, you'll be importing it all the time. So you need to grow your digital talent. So you have to bring in skills. And the only way you can begin to grow your digital talent is to train your people. And if you are training 1 million people, maybe